I have never heard of cannabis. I hate cannabis, actually. For legal
No,
reasons.
you only have room for the Lord.
When I say smoke weed, I'm smoking dandelions. Don't get it twisted.
Hello,
Hello,
I'm Maxwell,
I'm Carolyn.
and this is Mutable and Mutables, the show where we quibble queerly.
And exchange pleasantries. Max, you introduce yourself by a different version of your name every week. Do you know that?
I'm a Gemini, honey.
You've
Yeah.
been Maxwell. You've been Maxwell, Maxie, and Max. You
Mm-hmm.
might as well go by your other name as well.
Okay. we'll try that next week.
Sorry. Okay.
Oh, how are you, Carolyn?
I'm good. What's up with you? Drinking a ginger ale.
Drinking a ginger ale, because, yeah. I, try to hydrate myself with things that aren't water, because I, for whatever reason, just, refuse to drink water. It's not on purpose, but it's what I do.
One of my favorite memories from high school is I was sitting near this girl at lunch and she was talking about how she didn't drink water. She didn't like water, but it was okay because she drank apple juice and apples have water in them.
Work. Yeah, apple juice is... I love apple juice.
Work.
It's not going to hydrate you, but whatever.
Maybe she was onto something. So we're going to start with Drag Race recap as per usual.
Yes.
And then move on up to our episode theme, which is Party Monster, which we'll talk about later. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Let's get into it. Yep.
Let's crack into it. Okay, so we're gonna start with UK versus the World Snatch Game. Start with Blue Hydrant. Well, okay, let's do Runway Look first, and then we'll talk about Snatch Game.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, let's do that. Okay. Blue Hydrangea had green velvet, red hair, Luck of the Irish look. Tudor boot.
I toot it. I think she looked fantastic. I don't remember what the theme was, but she looked incredible. That was fantastic.
Queen of Hearts or some shit.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, what? No, it wasn't. It was
No.
That was season 14. It was Luck Be a Lady, right?
Yeah, that's
Something
right.
like
That's
that.
right. Yeah.
Luck Be a Lady.
No, and I loved it. And she could have done what
Anyway,
Baga did.
I literally said,
What?
oh my god, we're gonna be so lagged. I literally said Luck of the Irish, and then completely forgot. But
Well, I love it because
anyway, yeah,
Blue
it was
is
Luck Be a
super
Lady.
Irish, and she could have done what Baga did, but she elevated it, and I don't know, it just looked really good.
We'll get to Becca.
Yeah.
Blue looked amazing as usual. I mean, that color is
Mm-hmm.
gorgeous with red hair. I couldn't
So
even believe it.
gorgeous.
So yeah, toot obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And then Snatch Game, Austin Powers or Mike Myers, I guess. Are we tooting and booting? I don't know. What do you want
It was so funny. Although, well, I think it's interesting because, Snatch Game, they're not supposed to do fictional characters. But this game, we had a couple where they were like, I'm doing this real life person playing this fictional character as a workaround.
That's a good point. I forgot they're not allowed to do trademarked or licensed characters or whatever. Because the whole time I was like, but he's not doing Mike Myers. He's doing Austin Powers. But okay, yes, that makes sense.
I thought it was great, and the Dr. Evil
Anyway,
surprise.
I've never seen that movie, but I thought it was funny. Yes,
Beyonce was in that movie. Did you know? Beyonce's in one of the Austin
No, I did
Powers
not know.
movies. I think she's in Goldmember.
Playing herself or just
No,
actually in it?
she was doing a little bit of a foray into acting in the early 2000s, and then I think it stopped after Austin Powers.
Okay. Oh my god, I'll have to watch that sometime this year. Overall, toot. I love Blue. BLU.
Yeah.
You know what to do.
Yes, ma'am.
Let's get in the queue. I don't remember. Okay. Next was Janie Jacquet. What would you? Is that a blackjack board? How would you describe this? I don't know anything about
No comment.
It's a pink
I'm
dress.
just not into it.
Right. It's a pink dress. There's some pink gloves. There's a some card.
It's like a pink.
board.
It's like a hot pink cocktail dress with like a cardboard. What is that? Like, I don't even know. It's like that circular board with the marble that you see in casinos, just like glued to her back, and there's like some big cards put onto it. Like, it's a cute art project, but
yeah. The coins like on the dress too as like a belt, but also like, yeah, it's weird. I
wasn't into it.
And then
boot.
And then James Charles for Snatch Game. No comment.
She got the look down, but the performance,
oh, for sure,
was not there. Which, like, I feel like if she had chosen someone better, she probably could have done a better job. But, like, I mean, Michelle, right. Or I think it was Michelle, someone made a good point. They were like, when you do someone who's like one of those YouTube people who's not like really funny, you know, you kind of put yourself in a box, which I think is exactly what happened.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, you can't do that, but you also can't like do a comedian. And like, there's like very good and very bad Snatch Game characters, and no matter how well you play them, it's just not good for Snatch Game. Like, Snatch Game is only a little bit about how you look, so
yeah.
Anyway, overall boot, boo, tomato,
overall
tomato,
boot,
but
yeah.
Love you, Janie. Sorry. Yeah, we're not professionals. We're not experts. We're literally just shooting the shit. And
oh yeah, no, please don't take any of this seriously. Don't come after us, please.
Okay. And now we have to move on. Speaking of which, now we have to talk about Jujubee.
Oy.
Do those things have a name? Cat waving luck.
The lucky cats.
I
think it's like a Chinese lucky cat, or maybe.
Okay. You see them like at restaurants. I don't know. And you're supposed to.
I have one in my home.
It's pretty. Oh. You should learn the name of it. It's pretty.
Yeah, no, it's I really like it. I think
what it was though.
Well, I loved the arm thing that she did. That like it sold the look a little bit more.
Exactly.
The shape looks fantastic. I think it's a little bit plain below the chest, but that's what she was going for.
I guess, but I also wouldn't have known what it was if she didn't do this thing. Maybe you would have, since you have a thing in your house, but I only see them every once in a while, so it's not. I wouldn't have gotten the reference, but the dress itself is pretty, and I love a full glove thing.
I feel like she could have done, even if she just put on like some little cat ears, that would have, sold it a little bit quicker. But
little gold cat ears.
Yeah.
I'm also so overall I'm gonna err on the side of toot.
This is a moot for me.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm like
I'm gonna call this a moot.
I would toot it if it I don't know. It's like top of the line moot, or low toot. Meh. She gets a B. Okay, moving on. She did Snatch Game as Cher.
So that was not Cher, but it was fun to watch.
Not a good Cher. It was like it was like a campy Cher, like a what didn't somebody say, like, you're doing an impersonation of a Cher impersonator more?
I think I think Rue might have said that or something.
Right. I'm also obsessed with her not being able to name more than one Cher song. That is hilarious to me.
I know.
Like, you planned to do this character, you couldn't even. It's not like she's a one-hit wonder. Come on. Anyway, I thought it was funny though. I mean, obviously she's.
No, this is the 4th time she has done this more than anyone else at this point.
Exactly. Yeah, like, how does she keep coming up with Snatch Game characters? At this point, she was like, I may as well fucking do Cher.
I don't know, but her Eartha Kitt was fucking hilarious.
It was very good. It was very funny. Yeah, so I mean, toot the Snatch Game. That shit was hilarious.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, moving on. Mo Hart in this like hot pink orange Vegas showgirl flamingo thing.
Jesus Christ.
Gorge.
Absolute toot. It was lit, literally.
George W. Bush. Yes. I loved it. Yes, exactly. Oh my god, I forgot it lit up. Yes, it lit up. It was
Yeah.
beautiful and big and pink. Love it.
And Rue was right. This color looks so good on her. The like purples and oranges and
Yeah.
magenta, like on her, they just look so gorgeous.
Yeah, all of the colors look good on her. Yeah. And then
Hmm.
them all together, it's like bam, bitch. And then the little flamingos on her head. Cute AF.
Yeah,
So yeah, two, definitely.
super toot.
And then Snatch Game, Billy Porter.
I thought it was all right. She had some good moments, but it wasn't standout for me.
Definitely considering that she like did it on the fly and wasn't planning on doing Porter, like Billy
Oh
Porter,
yeah.
like props to
Hmm.
that. Who was she originally gonna do? I forgot.
I don't remember. I do think this was the better choice that she ended up doing, but you know.
Yeah.
But I mean, she more than made up for it with the look, in my opinion, with the runway look.
Exactly, yeah. Like, who cares? Yeah. I mean, it was good enough. It was fine. It was whatever. This is also her third time doing Snatch Game, so, you know.
Yeah, true.
Alright. Yeah, so I don't even know. Yeah, whatever. Toot on the look and
Overall, toot.
light toot on the. Yeah, I guess, whatever. Okay, Bag of Keeps doing, Halloween catalog wig look.
Uh,
I have no words.
I mean, it's cute, I guess, but not the
The hair
strongest.
is cute.
Yeah, but you know what? Her snatch game made up for it, in my opinion.
I know. It really did. I'm just gonna go ahead and boot the look. It doesn't look good, in my opinion. Bye. But her snatch game
Kathy Bates,
doing
Misery.
Kathy Bates as what the fuck ever the character's name is, I can't remember, but that was so hilarious and so smart to use RuPaul and his book as the like as the author.
She just kept calling him Paul. It killed me.
That was I I I was ruined. Who, Paul? Or what'd she say? She said, "You, Paul."
You, Paul. Yeah. It was so
You,
funny.
Paul. God damn it.
You don't need the fornication,
yeah.
Paul.
God, I wish I remembered what the name of the author in the book is.
The character
The
that
reason
she's
I'm
doing.
trying to think. No, not well. I can't remember the character's name either. But like, you know, the author, not Stephen King, like the author in the book. What's the guy's name? Hold on,
Oh, the one
No,
that
I'm
James
not-
Caan played. I don't know.
Okay. Anyway, have you seen that video of the lady in Barnes and Noble like yelling at the cashier because they didn't have his book, but it was like a joke because he's a fictional. This was
Oh,
not
no.
funny. I'm so sorry. I'll send it to you. I'll send it
Okay.
to you later. Never mind. God damn it. I keep forgetting that we're recording this. Let's move on. Okay, and we have to talk about Pangina, not Pandora. Pangina heels.
Yes, you got it. Yeah.
Wearing slot machine.
Pangina heels.
Yeah, I know. Golden slot machine coin thing. I loved it. What do you think?
I thought it was great. I thought it was really funny how Michelle was like, "Do you know this is literally like a costume, but I can't call it costuming."
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I hate that it says winner on her head, and then she went home
I didn't even clock
I
that.
hated
Oh
that.
my god.
for her.
I hate that. But, okay.
Yeah.
So it looks like though the slot machine is a dress. It's not like she just made a cardboard slot machine and like taped it, right? That's what it looks like
I don't
to me.
actually know. I don't know.
Cuz look at the legs. Like to me I thought that like that was a skirt. And then the black cape thing.
To me, it looks
I-
like she's maybe wearing a bodysuit, and then she's got this prop like mounted on her, that she's decorated.
Yeah.
I do love the little or the gold sequins all over to look like coins are kind of like exploding all over her. I mean, it
Yes,
was
I
really
thought it
well
was so
done.
cool. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
I don't like the peace sign earrings. That's kind of like came out of nowhere, but
Yeah,
no,
it's
I
not
love everything
related.
else and the gold coins and everything.
I wish she had like
then
dollar sign
Mariah.
earrings, but
Oh. Yeah, dollar.
Her
Yeah,
Mariah,
something
she looked.
relevant.
The makeup was spot on,
She's gorgeous.
but
She
that was
looks so
about
pretty.
it.
Like, she doesn't even look like Pangina, like, at all.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't look like herself.
No, it was fantastic.
But yeah, but like, yeah, like Mariah Carey, it's like, yeah, she is funny, but not in the way that you can like impersonate her.
Yeah, exactly.
Because her whole thing is being like nonchalant and like, I don't know. It just, she doesn't really work as a character.
Well, it's like James Charles. We like to like laugh at them for
Exactly.
things that they don't mean to be funny. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, can't make them funny. Overall, I don't know why she went home over anyone. Actually, I don't know why she went home. Like not a winner, but I mean, because who was in the top? It was Baga and Blue, right?
It was. Yeah, I think so. But we should also take this moment to address Blue has been getting a lot of hate for this. And it's like, this is a TV show. You know what I mean? This is reality TV. It's not that deep. Like,
Yeah.
leave them alone.
No, I know. People are wild. People who do, like, the whole, like, online fandom thing get so, like, into it that they forget that these are, like, real people and not just, like a character to like chat shit about, you know. The delusion. Anyway.
Did that ever happen to you when you were deep in the trenches of internet fandom hood? Back in our youth.
Yeah, I definitely like no, I was like so enthralled in it, like One Direction fandom like was my life, like did not give a fuck about reality. This was in like early high school, obviously, like I got over it, but
yeah,
but I'm saying this because I have been like a fangirl.
No, I was right there with you.
I have been a fangirl before, so I get the urge to like interact and like share your feelings, but like when you're tagging and like messaging people, like there is somebody on the receiving end reading it with their own eyes. It doesn't matter if you meant it as a joke. So yeah, fuck that shit.
Yeah, these are real people. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's really wild. Where do we go? Segue, something, help.
I have one last highlight from this episode of UK versus the World, and that was simple, sweet, innocent Blue Hydrangea saying the words "boiling hot smegma." Did you catch that?
No. And I hate that you just highlighted it because I hate that word.
God, it's just so funny because like she's got like such like a dirty mind and like a dirty mouth and everything, but she looks like so sweet and innocent. It's so funny to me.
She looks like like a little cherub.
Yeah.
I love Blue, and like Blue and Pangina have like the best like friendship, and like everyone would be like, "Oh my gosh, they're such good friends now," blah blah blah, and that was like a year ago. So like this had happened. They were still friends. It was fine.
Did you see how shook she was, like visibly shook Blue was on stage when Pangina was like sobbing backstage? That was so hard to watch.
Okay. The editors are so shady for like leaving so much of that in.
Mm-hmm.
B, poor fucking Blue. Oh my god, her face cracked, dropped.
She looked
like, oh my god, she looked
so like Jan.
Sad. She looked like Jan. Yeah, safe. Ha.
Yeah. Yeah.
I say that after she.
No, it was rough. Although her lip sync look was goddamn gorgeous. Like I'm not big on neon, but I love 80s, and like that lip sync look was so good. This was a great week for Blue.
Yeah, I feel like maybe like because they only do All Stars like in the U.S. like the other franchises like don't understand how like bad it was when Naomi like eliminated Manila, shit like that. Like,
well, they do now because that's what happened.
Exactly, but it's like you have to think about like not only how will this affect you in the game, but you also have to like live with yourself afterwards and live with the consequences. Mm-hmm. So, who am I?
Yep.
Don't bully
season
Blue.
14.
Get in the queue. Yeah, let's get into season 14. Okay, so Oh my gosh. So challenge was 60s girl groups, which like love. I love.
Yeah.
I live, laugh, love.
Ah,
The Shangri-Las, the Rupremes and the
the
Runettes, rest
brunettes.
in Oh, I just realized this was filmed before Ronnie Spector died. So rest in peace, Ronnie, and burn in hell, Phil
Yeah,
Spector.
they had a little title card at the end. Yeah. They had like a
Oh, I did
dedicated
not
to
notice.
Ronnie Spector thing. Yeah.
Like I said, I only half watch it late at night because I rewatch
She was
whatever.
asleep.
Anyway, I was asleep. Um, okay, rest in peace, Ronnie and Spector. Burn in hell, Phil Spector. Moving on. So cute little girl group challenge. And then Queen of Hearts was the runway, correct? Yes.
Yes. Mhm.
Okay, so start with Deja. Did like a superhero peplum. I know you love a
I
peplum.
do love a peplum.
I have the same problem where I don't understand the choice of wig color, but overall, I fucking loved this. I lived.
I thought it was really cute. I thought it was I mean, the more I look at it, the more I'm like, okay, maybe, there could have been a little bit more done since this is like a main stage runway situation. But
Yeah.
overall, I think, you know, it is a really cute look and it does look great. And
Yeah.
I just
Also, her
she can
makeup.
come out in a little peplum every time with that little
I
waist
know.
and I'm
I
gonna be here
know.
for it. So I
Oh,
do
she
wish
looks
the
so good.
hearts on the shoulders were had a little bit more of a shape to them.
Yeah.
I think the shape got kind of lost, but like it was
Yeah.
clear that you could, they were hearts. So I give it a toot.
Yeah. Toot for overall execution. Meh. Whatever. Toot overall. Okay. Diabetica. Diabetes. Heart fishnet neon thing. I live for the hair and makeup
Yeah,
and the tights and the shoes.
I agree. Just not the garment.
Now this time it's not even that I don't understand it. This I just like. I don't like it. It's just not my style.
It's a little bit arts and craftsy. Like I don't hate it. My one thing that I did want was like the big heart that's in the center. I wish it was a little bit
Mm,
smaller because it kind of
maybe.
covers the whole shape of her body. And so it's like it makes
Yeah.
it a little bit harder to sell and look at. Like her legs look fantastic, but like you can't see
Yeah.
her waist, you can't see her chest, her bust. So
Yeah. Um. Yeah. No, I agree with everything you said. It's a weird garment, but the mohawk and like the makeup, specifically the eyebrows, I love.
yeah, she looked great.
I think I overall toot, but not a strong toot.
Uh, I'll toot for the hair and the makeup and the legs, and so I guess that's like
Right.
a mild toot for me. Yeah.
Boot the torso.
Boot, yeah, boot the torso.
All right, Lady Camden doing Grecian Cupid plush heart.
I loved it. Same thing with Daya though. I wish the heart was smaller so you could see her shape, and that
Right.
would have been a really really nice look if it was just a little bit smaller. But overall, she looked beautiful.
So what I'm gonna say is that I feel like this outfit was originally for a different runway, and then she was like
Oh,
adapted it
interesting.
to like, oh, I have this Grecian outfit. We'll do Cupid because like Grecian or what? Listen, I'm talking out of my ass.
I can see that.
Like the heart, like it really feels like it was just like placed there, but she looks really beautiful, so I'm willing to forgive it.
Well, I guess we'll see if they do like a goddess runway or like a Greek or mythology or I guess we'll see what happens.
Well, so like they I'm no expert, but apparently sometimes they like change up the runways. Like it's different from what the queens prepare for. So you remember in season 10 where like I don't even remember what the actual challenge was, but everybody looked like prehistoric and had like Aquaria had that like jaw thing and like
Oh yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah.
that's where
Mhm.
Miss yeah, so apparently originally there was like a prehistoric runway and then they just like adapted the outfits to whatever it ended up being. I should really do my research before I just say things on this.
Well, what I know about it is once they're confirmed for the show, they get a list of possible runway categories, but they don't
Oh, is that what
know
it is?
exactly which ones are which. Yeah, and so they try to prepare for as many of them as they
Hmm.
can. Um, yeah.
There we go. Makes sense. So maybe that's how I feel about this one, but too because she's
I
beautiful.
toot, I toot Camden.
Okay, Georges, little red lingerie and pink Victoria's Secret angel heart thing.
This is not Victoria's Secret. This is RuPaul's Drag Race. This is a boot from me.
Yeah,
It could have been so much
me
more.
too. Yeah. Also, like, look at the difference in color with the tights and the like. She looks like a doll.
The waistband?
The tights and
Yeah.
like the waistband. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Agree.
very yellow. Yeah, no, I was bored. Boot.
Yeah, same.
Okay. Bosco.
Toot, 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 all the fucking way. This was
Yeah.
so hot.
Obviously.
She looks so good.
Look at her makeup. I'm like really a slut for the makeup this week. Like, but look at that. That's gorgeous.
The subtle changes to her brows and how it
I
matched her
know.
hair and the lip. It was so fucking good.
Oof.
God, it was so
It
good.
was so good.
And then she turned around and there was her asshole.
Oh. Oh, that was so funny. Oh god, I loved it. That was so funny. She really showed her ass.
It reminded me of when Katya did that on season 7, like right at the
Oh
beginning.
yeah.
Do you remember that?
And she just bent all the way over. I was like,
Yeah,
ooh,
she
scandalized. It was so vulgar.
Yeah.
Oh. Anyway, toots for Bosco. I love her. She's beautiful, incredible.
This was honestly my favorite look of the night. This is the highest of all toots from me.
Yeah, I think I would probably agree with you. I might change my answer, but right now, yeah. Okay, Willow Pill. This is so funny. Little panty skirt.
The way that Willow Pill keeps just like going outside of the box and just
She's
like
so,
smashing
she's
it.
so creative.
Yeah, she's great.
Oh my god. Yeah, no, this was so funny. I was like, what am I looking at here? I thought it was so stupid. I love it.
Yeah, no, it was fantastic.
And she's also wearing that suspender. Yeah. Yes, I love it too.
I do wish the hair was different though. Now that I'm looking at it, I do wish that it was maybe bigger up on top.
No, I love it.
Oh, you like it like that? Well,
Maybe. No, I like it, but yeah, I'm never gonna say no to bigger hair. So like, yeah.
yeah, toot for me.
Anyway, two. Okay. Yes, Carrie Colby doing blood vessel thing. Aorta.
Do you know, I did not get that was supposed to be blood vessels until someone asked her and she explained it, which, if you have to explain it,
I would
as
not
they
have
say,
gotten it until
it means you didn't do enough.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I would toot it, honestly. Like, I think it's cute. I wouldn't have gotten that it's blood vessels and it, like, doesn't really relate to the challenge, but, like, if I saw this in the club, I would, like, lose it, you know?
She also apparently put the heart on the wrong side. Monet pointed that out in pit stop. She put the heart on the right side instead of the left.
You know, I was gonna be nice and assume it was, like, a weird camera mirroring thing, but you know what? Work.
I think I'm gonna boot this one actually, only because like I love her body positivity, but I feel like she's just kind of like nearly nude all the time. And you can also, like with Georges, you can see the waistband situation happening, and you can see the breastplate.
Yeah, for some reason I wasn't
and
clocking that earlier, and yeah, that is very noticeable. So,
but her makeup
yeah,
looks great as always. But I'm gonna boot the rest.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I toot, but it's a light toot. Okay, next is Angeria.
Not Sia.
Not Sia. I think the same thing about Lady Camden, where I think this look was a different runway and she glued the I love you to it, because I did not like the I love you part at all, but I'm obsessed with this look.
So yeah, it's really disjointed overall. Like obviously I love the Sia hair. I think it's so funny. And yes. I like the garment. I don't think it fits the challenge. And like no. I wanted hers to be my favorite of the night, but because it does look great, but I just think it's like it doesn't fit the challenge as much as I know she's capable of. But I think you could be onto something with this being for a different challenge.
I'm sorry, like I love you. Like that's it.
Yeah, and like
some...
what?
Yeah, like that's
at least make your lip like the mod thing. Draw a heart on your lips or something. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like
yeah. Also, those shoes are weird. Like the bottom, like the tights in the shoes are weird.
Yeah.
I still toot. I love it. Okay, and Jazzy J, Jasmine Kennedine. boring.
I think she looked gorgeous. It may not have been the most elevated or like the most high concept of the night, but I think
Yeah.
she looked really pretty.
Now I do love a fun sleeve,
Yep.
and I do love an asymmetrical. Um, I just don't live. The plush hearts are tacky. I will say what I do live for is the poison ivy Rorschach tiara, big curly hair thing. Obsessed, but
The Alyssa Edwards
yeah,
hair.
I don't live the Alyssa Edwards, um, specifically the tiara. But yeah, no, I don't live. I don't like it. I don't dislike it.
I I think she dressed her body well. It looks fantastic on her, especially like when you have that taller, thinner frame and you do a high leg cutout. Uh it's always going to look great. So I think she looked really pretty. I don't think it was maybe planned for the challenge. I think maybe the hearts were just kind of stuck on there. Um but
See, once you start noticing things like that, you never stop. Um,
mhm.
yeah, I don't live. I think she deserved to be in the bottom. However, I will say I would like to formally thank her for when one shoe flew off, she kept the other one on. And I would
Yeah,
not
you
have
don't take your
noticed
shoes
that she
off on
was.
purpose.
Exactly. If I did not see the shoe go flying, I would not have known she was only wearing one shoe and one tiptoe. That's how you fucking do it, and that's why she deserved to stay.
One of these days, they're gonna kill one of those judges.
Yeah, people are like launching projectiles way more often on Drag Race. These bitches better watch out. Yeah, so like I definitely think she won the lip sync, and I like respect the hell out of her for doing that because have you ever
Mm-hmm.
tried to walk in one high heel and one just tiptoe? It's a weird feeling, and she like danced also like her wig was kind of falling off at the end, but yeah, no, she deserved to stay for sure. Okay, any final thoughts?
Um, Not really. I think things are heating up. I am very proud of Bosco for winning the reading challenge. I think that was so funny.
Oh my god, yeah, that was so funny. I have to go back and watch the episode when I'm fully awake because I remember laughing and I don't remember the jokes, but I remember like laughing out loud at some of them.
The one about RuPaul's will was really really funny. I think that's what won it
Yeah,
for her.
so stupid. Okay, so now we are going to talk about our main theme slash topic of the day, which was the 2003 film Party Monster. If you are not familiar,
Stay that way.
it's not a good movie,
Yeah, no.
but it is about club kids, um, specifically Michael Alec. And if you're into true crime, you might recognize this story. Um, the movie ends with, and the whole club kid kind of movement kind of ends with, the murder of Angel Melendez, a fellow club kid. So that movie is about that. Macaulay Culkin plays Michael Alec. He is not a good actor in this movie, and it makes it nearly unwatchable. But the guy who plays James St. James is very good, and
Well,
it's fun to see all the looks
well,
and Amanda Lepore and all that stuff. So you have thoughts? Uh, say them.
I have several thoughts.
Okay. Also, again, so I have seen this before. This was your first time watching, so these are your first time. This is your live reaction video.
This was my first and last time watching this film, and let me tell you why. It was bad. It was really bad. It was very, very bad.
It's a bad
It was
movie.
bad.
Yeah.
It's a bad movie. But
It's
so
not good.
I have been like, at first I was like, wow, Macaulay Culkin and Seth Green. I know that they can both do better than
Is that the
this.
name of the guy?
Yeah, Seth Green. Yeah.
Okay.
I was like, I know that they can both do better than this. What's happening? And then I realized it's the writing. The script is not good. Like
Is
the
it?
dialogue is not
No, it's not.
good, and it's mostly
it's
the
not.
exposition, because I did realize that after I got through like the first 40-45 minutes, then it kind of became not easy to watch, but like a little bit easier to watch. But like setting the story up and like setting the tone, and when they became friends and all that,
Yeah.
rough, bad, rotten, not good. But it did get a little more
I
interesting
will
later on.
say, yeah, I will say my life was changed the first time I heard the rules: don't be seen drinking anything other than champagne.
Oh yeah.
Don't take heroin. Don't wear white shoes after Labor Day. Now that is words to live by. Yeah, I guess like listen, you're more, you know, more about theater and writing and plays and all this stuff, but yeah, so I didn't, yeah, like the dialogue was bad, but like something about Macaulay Culkin just does this like weird middle school acting, like inflection. I cringe. It's so bad.
I have seen a multitude of intro theater productions, whether it is scene readings, full length plays, you know, whatever. I've seen beginners do a lot of things. This was on that level, which is weird because somehow they had the budget to get like Total Eclipse of the Heart in there, which I think is what they spent the whole budget on because the rest of the film
I know,
was
right?
so rough.
No, there's some good music in that. A supermodel, RuPaul, is in that movie.
Yes,
he's not it. That song.
The song is in it. Yeah.
Yeah. It was so like.
Also,
Ooh.
I gotta say, I had a couple little moments that were really funny that I really appreciated. First of all, Marilyn Manson, by the way, did not know that Marilyn Manson was in this film.
Well, he was a club kid.
The lipstick on the teeth for every shot that she was in, so funny. I thought that was, I don't know, like it just was really funny to me. And Natasha Lyonne, also unsurprising that she was in this film.
Yeah, I do not.
When she said that she was making a drug salad.
Yeah. Shit was so funny.
Yeah. It was so funny.
Yeah, no, that was such a specific look her character was with like kind of no eyebrows and like dreadlocks and like beanie hat and questionable drug habits. Like I know that person. You know?
Yeah, we all know that person. Yeah.
Yeah, she was in it. Amanda Lepore, Chloe Sevigny.
What was the giant rat?
I'm blanking. Sorry.
The giant rat that was like telling James St. James what happened. Why was that?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
I don't know. They don't. Yeah. There's no acknowledgement, is there?
No.
It's probably a reference to something. Probably.
It was real weird.
Well, because so James St. James, this is so okay. So back up. So James St. James wrote a memoir called Disco Bloodbath about this.
Mm-hmm.
There was Party Monster, the shockumentary that came out in the 90s.
1998.
Thank you. Then he renamed the book Party Monster, and then this movie came out, which was like a narrative.
No, the book was called Disco Bloodbath until the movie came out, and then it was republished with the same name as the movie so that people knew that it like went together. I went down a rabbit hole last night.
Okay, so after the movie, not the documentary.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I know it's impossible not to, just because there's so much. Listen, you know I love a subculture, so like there's so much to get into with the club kids, and like we can even talk about like the new romantics and all this. Like there's so much to go. We can talk about CBGBs. We can talk about Max's Kansas City. We can talk about Andy Warhol's The Factory, Studio 54. I have a lot of thoughts. Let's move on. So yes, other thoughts. Giant rat never explained.
I do think it's kind of funny. This is not, believe it or not, this is not the first queer-centric early 2000s movie set in the 90s in New York where a character named Angel dies.
What's the other one?
Because I'm thinking Rent. You haven't seen Rent, but it's just like,
oh, I haven't seen
I don't know. I thought it was an interesting connection. I was like, very similar audiences going on here. But,
well, okay, this was also a true story, and that was the person's actual, like, what he went by. So.
No, yeah, I know, but I just thought it was interesting. Also, the keeping the dead body in the apartment for as long as they did, I was like, do they know Dory and Corey? I was like, did she help with that?
I know. Sensing a theme.
Yeah.
That's disgusting. Oh, God, yeah, cringe.
The film was difficult. Like I said, after the first 45 or so minutes, it was a little bit easier to watch. But also at that point, it kind of started reading like Dare propaganda.
Yeah, definitely.
I was like, Like, this is a lot.
Yeah, everything in moderation. Definitely don't do drugs, but you know, if slash when you do them, be responsible. I'm not gonna preach.
Yeah, also, we we're making fun of this movie, but like addiction is super real. So like addiction is something serious that we're not joking about.
Yeah, like this story. Okay, yeah. Let's be very clear. And this whole story of the murder of Angel Melendez is very sad. Like a complete tragedy. Like we're not making fun of that. We're making fun of how bad this movie is. But it is like I would say if like the acting and the dialogue wasn't so bad, it's like almost camp. But I don't think I can put it in that
Oh,
category
it's super
because
camp.
it's not self-aware enough. I don't know if it's self-aware enough. I think Macaulay. I don't know.
Oh,
Um,
I think it's self-aware. Like this was a Wow Presents production. I think they knew the camp value. The lipstick on the teeth on Marilyn Manson's teeth. I would call that camp.
okay.
You know, on all those looks, I know
Fine.
that they were inspired by like Club Kid looks, but I thought it was camp.
Well, I mean, yeah. Yeah. So the movie was bad. The story is tragic. The Club Kids are super fun to talk about. Let's talk about Club Kids.
Yeah, go for it. And then I've got some background on Michael and James
Oh, okay.
for later as well.
Well, do you want to do that first? sorry. This is so disorganized.
Sure.
But do that first.
Sure. Yeah, I don't know as much about the Club Kids as like a movement or as a whole, other than what I learned looking into this and from what they've talked about on like Drag Race and you know on the internet and stuff like that. But at the end of the film, we see Michael in prison where he stayed until 2014 when he was released on parole. He had applied for parole a couple times before. The first time was in 2003, but the parole officers, or no, hang on. It was in 2006. Let me make sure. Yeah, he became eligible for parole first in 2006, but his request was denied because parole officers had just seen this movie and they were like,
Oh, really?
"You don't need to be back in the real world yet." Yeah, I was like, "That's crazy." And then he was denied parole again in 2008.
Can they do that?
They did. He was denied it again in 2008 because he failed some drug tests because he was still somehow able to get access to drugs pretty regularly in prison. In 2009, he said that he would, you know, he had gone sober completely. And then he was released in 2014. But unfortunately, shortly after that, he got back into drugs and stuff. And on Christmas Eve of 2020, he died of a heroin overdose. When he was in school, he was a straight A student, and he was, I think, graduated in the top 8% of his class, which I think is kind of crazy. But I also think it's important, or at least it's kind of like not a great example, but like the pressures on like honors kids and like straight A students and stuff is really real. Because if you're just forcing these kids to like do nothing but succeed academically for like their entire youth, eventually they're gonna spin out, and something like this, you know, it makes it easier for
Yeah.
something like this to happen, which is really
No, I
tragic.
completely attribute my current state of being somewhat of a burnout to like I don't think I would have started like smoking weed like I do if I wasn't like super like academic in
Yeah.
like elementary and middle school.
Same.
So yeah, I never got into heroin or like nose drugs certainly. And I certainly never murdered somebody, so we're not gonna we're not gonna
So additionally, he had what I believe is histrionic personality disorder. I don't know if that's like an outdated term or not, but that's what the internet said, which is often characterized by like high levels of attention-seeking behavior. And actually, he talked slash joked about killing Angel Melendez several times, but people thought it was just another ploy for attention, which you know had worked to
Sorry,
get him to. Go ahead.
is it the same thing as is it borderline personality disorder? Is it the same thing?
I'm not quite sure. I didn't look into the relationship of the mental situations, but yeah. And like the attention seeking thing worked for him to build this following of the club kids and this party scene. It was great there, but it was they didn't believe him when he said that he had killed Angel. And actually, when I was looking into this, there's a journalist named Michael Musto or Michael Musto
Yeah.
who actually reported the murder in a blind item. This term keeps popping up. We'll have to do an episode on blind items at some point.
I
But
think I don't fully understand the cultural context of blind items because
it's just like anonymous gossip. And apparently blind items started in like the 1920s or 30s or something like that. Like they go back. I did not realize Gossip Girl was so old.
I had just like never heard that term for anonymous shit talking.
Neither had I. Yeah,
Very
not until
interesting.
recently. Oh, in October of 2014, shortly after Michael Ehrlich was released from prison, he and Kiyoki, who is in the film, they released a song called "What's In," and an EP by the same name. And then he also did a YouTube show in 2014 with another former club kid called Ernie Glam, and the show is called PU, spelled like PEE-EU or EW, which I haven't watched, but it's just kind of interesting.
Wait, so
So
it's
that's Michael.
Okay. Wow. Um, what a guy.
Yeah. And then James, we kind of already talked about. Although if you are a subscriber to WoW Presents, which I am, thanks to my lovely co-host Carolyn, who gave me her login.
I was gonna say, what do you mean you are? I pay the bill.
Yeah.
I lovingly let you use it.
James St. James does have a show on WoW Presents, which is cool. There's a lot of Rue girls on that show too.
Yeah, let's be very clear though. James St. James is like an icon in their own right. Like, does not need to be associated with Michael Alec. Like,
Yeah.
James St. James icon. Period. Not because of this movie or because of the association. Like, icon. Period. He's still alive.
It's like, you know how you were accidentally friends with that really weird kid in middle school, and then like you kind of keep in touch with them later, but not really. But then like you run into someone years later from high school who's like, "Oh, hey, weren't you friends with that weird kid?" And you're like, "Yeah, kind of." That's the situation. And I can say that because I was the weird kid.
That has never happened to me. I have never heard of that situation happening to anybody, actually.
Well, okay. Whatever.
Okay. So, yeah, let's go into James St. James.
Yeah, so we already talked about the book that James wrote, Disco Bloodbath, which eventually was renamed Party Monster because of the film. Additionally, James in 2007 wrote another book called Freak Show, which I believe is more like a fictional novel about a teenage drag queen in high school who forms a relationship with the quarterback of the football team, and hilarity ensues, or something like that. But apparently, it was a really good book. I haven't read it, but the American Library Association put it in the best books for young adults list.
Oh,
So,
really?
he's also been a guest several times on America's Next Top Model, and he was even a guest judge on season 2, episode 9 of Drag Race, where he talked to the top 4 on the red carpet. And then again, he's got the show on WoW Presents called Transformations, where different makeup artists and drag queens and Rue girls and stuff will come on and just give him a makeover. So,
Also, I think some of them are on YouTube if you don't have WoW Plus. So, also, this is not an ad for WoW Plus. We probably have to disclose that. This is not an ad. Whatever.
no, but if WoW would like to give us money, all we ever do is talk about their stuff. So,
I know.
WoW Presents Plus, if you're listening, the movie Party Monster was not that bad. This is all for jokes. Please give us money. It was a bad film.
It was a bad movie about interesting people, like James St. James.
Yeah.
I think probably Next Top Model is probably where I knew him from. The very big Next Top Model girl in my day. So yeah, so have you watched the Joan Rivers interview by chance with like both of them and Amanda Lepore and like a couple other people?
No. I saw when I was looking at like, their involvement in pop culture and where else they pop up. I saw that they had been on shows like Geraldo and Joan Rivers and stuff like that, but I haven't watched the actual interviews.
The Joan Rivers one is like actually super fun. She's like, oh, so did you make that? Like asking about the outfits and like, so did you dress like this every day? Like she's just like, I don't know. She's just Joan Rivers. It's really interesting though. You should watch it.
I love her. May she rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace. But yeah, you should watch that if you get a chance. It's only like a 30-minute little segment, kind of just like a light shock to the audience of just people wearing fun outfits. It's fun.
Do you know, maybe we should do a part 2 where we just talk about like club kids and their influence, because like the club kid movement was a lot more than this horrible movie. And like we still see remnants of that today, and it's
yeah, I mean, Bjork is still around.
like the way that they reinvigorated like counterculture. It's interesting too because apparently the club scene like had kind of died after Andy Warhol died in '87. But the club kids were credited with like bringing it all back to life and making it fun again.
And here comes my expertise. So my kind of line of thinking is that the club kids were kind of a direct lean from the Andy Warhol factory. Are you familiar with the factory, Max?
Not super, no.
Okay. The factory was like a club / meeting space. Andy Warhol hired basically like influencers, like models, drag queens, just interesting people to hang around, but also help him make art. Like it was literally a factory doing like screen printing and stuff. But anyway, so that was kind of the original like kind of club promotion type thing.
Mm-hmm.
I would say that plus the antics of like Studio 54, where it was just kind of like the most ridiculous thing wins. You know, Bianca Jagger famously came in on a horse, things like that. So Andy Warhol, the factory, plus Studio 54, plus maybe like I think Max's Kansas City had already closed, equals Club Kid Movement. So I think Limelight is kind of so Limelight is the club in Party Monster. It's also like I think the club that is, oh god, I'm talking out of my ass. It's kind of considered like meeting space for club kids. I would say it
was at the time.
British. Yeah. Okay, gotcha. Yeah. I think the European / UK version of this is the Blitz Kids, which turned into the New Romantics movement. So that was like Boy George and Sade and Little Nell from Rocky Horror Picture Show, and that was kind of like a reaction to punk rock anti-fashion, where it was like, no, we're gonna wear all the fashion and it's gonna be androgynous and glittery. So like David Bowie and David Johansen and like the kind of, and Mark Bolan, the kind of glam rock influence. So then that led into the New Romantics period, which is super famous for a lot of music and Flock of Seagulls and all that good stuff. Wow, I don't know where I was going from this. But yeah, I think the kind of end of the disco / punk rock scene kind of led into the club kids, where it's like also drag and gender bend and androgyny and all that stuff.
Yeah, there's actually a quote that I had written down where James St. James was describing the club kid movement and the club kid scene, and he called it part drag, part clown, and part infantilism.
Yeah.
Because it was really like, it was the evolution of the counterculture movement at that point, because as you know, we see this all the time. Things are kind of underground, right? And then they get like really popular, then they're really mainstream. And then once that gets popular and mainstream,
and then
there's another subculture that comes along to kind of subvert that. And so you're right. It's
but
at
also,
the end of,
yeah, exactly, as a reaction to it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it's really interesting to think about, because now, you know, like I feel like it took a little while, or maybe it's like a resurgence. I don't really know, because like, you know, during that era, the club kid movement was seen by the average person as like weird and bizarre, and you know, whereas of course, you know, in New York it was, you know, pretty cool. But now we're coming around to, like, I feel like it got kind of ignored for a little bit and just forgotten about, but now I guess maybe it's, you know, along with this drag explosion that we're living in, or with Gen Z kind of trying to take us back to this kind of vibe, I feel like we're seeing the energy that was promoted by the club kids. I feel like we're seeing that kind of come up in popular culture today. Not to the same extent and not with as many drugs, I hope, but you know what I mean?
I mean, drugs kill any good movement. drugs killed punk rock. Drugs killed the club kids, along with
Mm-hmm.
Rudy Giuliani. Drugs didn't kill him. He killed the club kid.
Yeah.
Oh god. Yeah, no, I read an article that was, and the title or the headline or whatever was like the last countercultural movement of the analog age, and that is like exactly what I have been
Mm.
trying to articulate about the club kids, where it doesn't really feel like that kind of thing could happen today, because back then you like you got fashion inspiration and like alt fashion from like you would see people doing things, and now it's like you can just scroll through your phone and like be inspired by
Yeah.
anything. But like whole movements and whole like fashion, I forgot to mention the Blitz kids were like a movement based on literally just this one club had a Tuesday night, and they would just hang out there on Tuesday nights, and it became an entire fashion movement. So but it doesn't really feel like that can happen nowadays, because you can just see anything anytime on your phone. There's no like Charlotte style, there's no Asheville style, you know?
Mm-hmm. It's like,
That's how I
not to
feel.
sound like a boomer, but in terms of the counterculture that signifies a generation, which I feel like, throughout history we see, and I mean, even with the internet, like that is, I guess, our, you know, generational
I don't know.
signifier or whatever.
Yeah,
But
I
like,
don't know.
I feel like with the internet, it makes things so accessible that,
Yep.
the club kid culture was pretty much exclusively for queer and queer adjacent people in their like late teens, early mid 20s in New York in the late 80s and early 90s. And that was that. If something like that were to happen now in like New York or LA or wherever,
Yeah.
it would be all over TikTok and all over Instagram.
Exactly.
And so then
Exactly.
that would become accessible to everybody, and
Exactly.
then it would take the specialness or significance out of the culture for the people who created it.
Exactly.
And so now it's like,
Yeah.
can we get to a point of doing something like this again? Do we have something like that now that I'm not,
No.
aware of? Like, I don't know. It's weird. It is kind of like the last analog era culture like
Yeah,
that.
maybe
That's,
we're just not cool, but yeah. Yeah, no, that was like that when I saw that article title, I was like, yes, exactly, because that's exactly how I feel about like, and same with like, listen, how do I want to put this? Everything, nothing ever changes. Everything is always the same. Nothing interesting happens.
you took a while to think about that. Yeah.
There's a lot going on in my brain, but I'm gonna end up with that, because I don't want to sound like a gatekeeper or like everything modern is bad, because like certainly there's a lot of like good
Mm-hmm.
things, good movies, good music that comes out nowadays.
Yeah.
It just like doesn't feel significant to me, but maybe it's
It's
because I'm not
different.
involved in those particular scenes. Like I was thinking about Mitski played in Asheville recently, and so like all the
Oh.
Mitski girls, is that how Miss? I don't
I don't know.
Miss
I'm old.
Mitski. You know who
Yeah.
I'm talking.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
But like that kind of thing kind of feels like a very specific counterculture. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
there's
I
small
feel
kind of
you.
like light
There's
cults,
pockets of it, yeah.
but there's nothing. Yeah, pockets. Exactly. Thank you.
Even still, those
Like
pockets are very short lived because at a certain point, they either blow up or they die, and the people who participated move on to something else because we have infinity at our fingertips. And now I'm starting to sound like a boomer, but
exactly,
like,
exactly. We sound like
I
boomers.
don't think it's necessarily bad. I think it's just different, and we need to
Yeah.
adjust to it and just find other things to appreciate in our little subcultures. And they may not be as big and they may not be as subversive, but like if you can find like your own little pocket of subculture, even if it's just with like your friends or your coworkers or whatever, just enjoy that. You know what I mean? Because it's like it's just for you guys and no one else, and that doesn't happen a lot
Yes.
anymore.
Yes. So that is something I've realized over the past couple years, is that I am most myself when I'm wearing a stupid outfit. I love a stupid outfit. I love a stupid outfit. And so it like going out, okay, my favorite thing
Are
used
you a
to be to go
Sagittarius?
shut up. I used to love to go to like the Static Age, or like, those go to a punk show wearing like a sundress. It just makes me laugh. Like I don't know, I love dressing ironically. Also, I would like to uh orally describe my outfit for our listeners
Oh yes, please
because I
do.
got
This is
dressed for
so
the
cute.
occasion.
Yeah.
Um, I had an hour to kill. I thought I would do fun clown makeup. So let's see. So like under eye doll eyeliner drawn on lashes and like underdrawn pointy lipstick, and then red beret with no hair, houndstooth dress. Shut up. Fishnet Madonna lace gloves, and this gaudy ass ring that somebody left behind in the hotel.
I gotta tell you,
That's my look.
I am kind of living for the gloves and the beret. It's it's very like Emily in Paris, maybe.
I
I don't know.
oh, shut up! Don't no. Stop!
No
Oh
offense.
my god, no, no! I'm very offended.
C'est une femme.
Fuck off. Yes, I love a glove. I love a glove. I love a hat. Does anyone still wear a hat? I'll drink to that.
I gotta hand that one to you. On that note, what are you into this week?
This week, so my Real Housewives franchise of the week, I have finished as much as I care to of Atlanta for right now.
Mm.
I have moved on to New Jersey. I just love the franchises that involve some sort of fraud. So, Erica Girardi from Beverly Hills, Jen Shaw from Salt Lake City, Teresa Giudice. Well, I guess it was her. I don't know, from New Jersey. So I just love to watch. I need to see the build up to the fraud. So that I'm also into reading. I finished 2 books this week. I finished The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, which was meh, and Into the Wild, which I actually did not think I would enjoy, but I ended up enjoying it a lot. And then
Was
I
that the
started a
one
book called Bastard Out of Carolina.
Into the Wild? That was what was his name? Like John Krakow, not Krakowski. Krakauer? I don't remember his name.
Crack. Yes, it's something like that.
Okay.
And they made a movie.
We had to
out
read
of
that
it.
when I was in middle school. It was real depressing.
Oh really? Yeah. No, I actually like I knew the story, and so I kind of thought that I was gonna go into the story like thinking he's an asshole, because that's what you think about. What's his name? Chris McCandless. But then like I don't know. I was moved by the descriptions of the need to be on top of a mountain, the need to be like in solitude. Like I I get it more. So yeah, I actually really enjoyed it. The great outdoors.
Yeah, I mean it's a timeless idea. I'm not into
Yeah, what are you into?
I'm not into as much this week as I normally am, but I have been very into Sudoku recently, which I like railed
I love
against.
Sudoku.
Okay, I used to fucking hate it until probably like a
yeah.
week ago,
Wait,
because I was
I
like,
think we had a
I
fight
don't
about this.
fuck with it. Yeah, I would get mad. And like I don't know why it was so hard for me. I think it's just because looking at numbers for too long gives me like a lot of anxiety, even though there's like not like there's no math in
fair.
Sudoku.
No.
But I have been playing it pretty much nonstop all week on my phone. Additionally, you're gonna laugh at this one. Please don't read me for it. I have gotten these this. I have recently purchased a pair of underwear that are meant to enhance the ass that I don't have. So I have been patting. um
Oh my god!
I highly recommend it for anyone who's wanting to just like step up their whole vibe. It gives
Their
you
whole
confidence. It's cheap. They were $15. They're comfortable. They they make a little bit of I don't know. I walk through the day feeling hotter now and more desirable than I did before. Cause like I'm like I have a cute face, but I don't have like a body to write home about, and I have a fully flat ass. So I wanted to
Oh my
change that. I
god.
wanted to change that. I'm manifesting beauty this year with my padded
I'm happy
underwear.
for you.
Um,
I'm so happy
and
for
then
you.
finally so I live in Seattle where recreational marijuana usage, or I should say cannabis. Apparently, it's not really PC anymore to say marijuana because I think that word
Yeah,
was like,
I've
I guess, made
I
up
know.
to sound
To
like,
sound like a Spanish word, yeah.
yeah. So, recreational cannabis usage is legal in Washington State and in Seattle where I live. And so I have bought this little weed vape called the G Pen Dash, which this is not an ad, but if you want to pay me, I'll take it because I fucking love this thing. It's like teeny tiny. It's like, I don't know, maybe 4 inches long, and it's super easy to use. You just like put a little bit of weed inside, and it heats it up using it's basically just like a little oven essentially. So you're not like directly burning the weed. You're just like heating
Oh,
the
it's a
space
dry
around the weed.
vaporizer.
Yeah,
Okay.
it is. It's not an oil or anything
Okay,
like
I'm with
that,
you.
so it's like not as bad for your lungs.
Apparently, that's like the new hip thing.
It's basically putting the weed in like a little oven, and then you just smoke it, and it's got a couple different temperature settings, and it's super duper easy to use and clean and maintain. And I can smoke weed in my apartment now without my boyfriend getting mad at me
Oh, good point.
because there's like barely any smoke, there's barely any smell. It works fantastically well, and it was I think only like $70, which is like super cheap for
Yeah,
vaporizers.
that's
So G Pen Dash, go look it up, get into it.
very nice. I would like to say for legal reasons, no matter what I may or may not have said in this podcast before, I do not live in a state where cannabis is legal. I therefore do not consume cannabis. I have never heard of cannabis. I hate cannabis actually.
No, you only have room for the Lord.
For legal
That's it.
reasons. Yeah.
Uh,
So, when I say smoke weed, I'm smoking dandelions. Don't get it twisted. No homo, we smoking dandelions.
sure. Anything else?
Okay. No, that's all I've got. Don't do drugs. Don't watch a Party Monster, but also watch it because I promise we're not exaggerating how bad it is.
It's like you kind of have to see it once to just like it's just prepare yourself. Okay, prepare yourself. It is
Yeah.
probably
Especially if you don't know the story. Yeah.
it's probably Macaulay Culkin and Seth Green's like the projects that they want to forget about the most. And also like okay, it was 20 years ago, but like
Yeah.
I don't know. They were doing these like super like queenie femme voices and like the body language was like I don't know. You couldn't get away with making this film
Like
today.
trying to like act gay. Yeah.
Yeah. If you wanted to take this project on today, it would have to be a lot different and it would probably be a lot better. But, you know, this was 2003. Anyway, go check it out. Look up the Club Kids.
Yeah. No further thoughts, no further questions.
All right. Well, as always, thank you guys so much for listening. If you would like to connect with us, you can follow us on Instagram at Mutable Immutables. You can follow us on Twitter at ImmutablesPod. You can also check out our YouTube channel that is also Mutable Immutables. And yeah, you can listen to us on Spotify, Apple, Google, I think wherever you get your podcast. I don't know, but we got the big three and we got YouTube. So
Depends
that's
on
enough.
where you get your podcasts.
Yeah. Yeah, conditionally. All right, well, thank y'all so much for listening.
Okay, Quibbler.
Oh yeah, did we quibble queerly? I think we did.
Yeah, we quibbled. We quibbled. We quibbled.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.